Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of Newsround for Anfield Index. It is Monday, the 1st of December, the start of a new month, the start of a festive period. Is it the start of Liverpool turning the corner? Who knows fully, but we're here to talk about one of those win things that we haven't really chatted about too much in the recent past. I'm your host, Dave Davis, coming to you from Christmassy feel in Edinburgh, sort of cold, cool. You know, winter markets are out and about, so fingers crossed it's quite nice in the world wherever you are. But we start as ever, as we start every single news round with that question, how are we? And it's good to talk about a win. Pretty good after yesterday. Not great, though, and that's important to say. That's not being negative. It's where we are. Yesterday, a clean sheet. Yesterday, Alexander Isak gets on the score sheet. Florian Wirtz is easily the best player on the pitch. Yesterday, West Ham were absolutely disgraceful, weren't you? Could you imagine turning up to watch a West Ham every week and seeing that served up? Dear Lord, unbelievably bad. But the Reds can only beat what's in front of them, can't they? And it wasn't a scintillating performance. It's not going to go in anyone's DVD collection by any means. The saying goes, you could only beat what's in front of you. And that is exactly what Liverpool did. Now, in a weird way, when you look at the table, I mean, it's taken us up to 8th, which sounds mad. But actually, I mean, just look how mad this table is. Because we sit in 8th, played 13, won 7, lost 6. 2020, a goal difference of 0 with 21 points. But actually, when you scroll all the way up, you are only 4 points off second place. I'm not going to start talking about the title or anything like that. But it's almost crazy to think how bad the Reds have been that they're 4 points off second place. That maybe shows, I think, that the standard of the league is lesser than last year and miles off sort of the glory years from there. And I like this saying, Young Grog 431 said there, if Liverpool go on a beat and run from now on, they might win the league. I might be delusional. I think you might be borderline that, pal, at best. I mean, it's a great start. West Ham were abject. You beat what's in front of you. But there's some real tests to come this week, isn't there? With Sunderland, who were, absolutely flying. Look at the battling they shown coming back from behind against Bournemouth, it was, wasn't it? At home at the weekend. Then also Leeds, who battled and only just lost in the last minute against Manchester City. So it's this entire week coming up will give you the real indication of just how much, quote unquote, the Reds have turned it around. Let's hope it's fully. Let's hope Arne Slot may have had a little bit of sleep last night. But we do want to talk about the game. We do want to talk about a few players. And because we're talking about players, ladies and gents, there is only one place to start. The German magician himself, Florian Wirtz. I mean, look at them stats. 3 out of 5 ground duels won. 42 out of 44 passes. 3 recoveries. 2 fouls drawn. 1 dribble. 1 chance created. And as it says there, played a key role in Isak's goal. Almost a bit like Thiago, it's the pass before the pass you talk about with Wirtz that you saw quite often. Although on another day, he should have had more. He was just a level above everyone else attacking wise on the pitch. You could see that yesterday. You could see at times he's looking around going, what am I playing with? Because he was feeding Gakpo and Isak, especially in the first half. And we know what happened there, don't we? But Arne Slot was asked about him post-match, and it was interesting what he said, because we know Arne Slot doesn't always like to talk about players. So let's just have a listen to what he said in this one.
Show you anything? What did you ask him to do today?
Like I've asked to all of them, play to your own standards. But I think we tried to create an extra midfielder, and he was very important for us to find every time that extra midfielder. He was good in when he made the dribble. He was really good in his one-touch balls. I even remember a moment where he played the balls diagonally into the 18-yard box to Cody Gakpo, which then doesn't lead to a shot, so no XG value. But we had many of those moments, and he was part of many of those moments, I think.
Damn right he was. Yeah, it was a lovely fizz pass, wasn't it, to Gakpo, but unfortunately just didn't control it. It was a good performance from Florian Wirtz. I'm not saying great because of where we are, but easily man of the match, not even a debate. In terms of other things, other players, Alexander Isak, he was quite honest afterwards, wasn't he, about staying humble. You probably saw that comment, the famous one, but also said, I'm aware it's been a long time coming and I've been trying to get back to my best form. I'm still on the way, but I am happy to get that goal. We have to use this win in a good way, but also be humble. It was strange with Isak in a way, wasn't it? Because, I mean, first half, the touch, the link-up, we were still in, he's not fit. It's just not working. And he kind of had that hooked one, didn't he, where Areola saved it, but he had to hook it round because the first touch on his chest was so bad. It had got away from him and he was losing the ball repeatedly. You just had a few question marks, didn't you? But you then got a reminder of why the Reds paid the money, because it's such a difficult finish, that one that's going across him, just to side foot it in that small gap. He made it look easy. So I think people are like, I saw some reports of a tap in for Alexander Isak. That chance is a difficult one. And it takes a clash finisher to dispatch it that way at the same time. And Arne Slot, again, always reluctant on individual praise, but he talked about Isak after the game as well.
Never mind the second goal. How did you feel when the first goal went in? Because it's been a while coming, hasn't it?
For us to score a goal is not a while coming, but for us to go 1-0 up has been indeed.
I'm talking about the scorer.
Oh, yeah, that's also true. Yeah, but that is also a bit unfair to him because normally as a number 9, I think in general, number 9 plays more minutes than I've played Alex till now because of the obvious reasons. So even today I had to take him off after 65, I think. So yes, he's played already quite a lot of games, but in terms of minutes, not so much. And it's very important for us as a team that we went 1-0 up, but I think it was also important for him because I think it was his third chance, maybe third, fourth of this game. And I don't think there was much more than 10 minutes in him.
Pretty telling that, because he had a few chances, hadn't he? Do you remember the one where Wirtz plays it, Gakpo just a step over and he skies it into the crowd? They say the one that he didn't control too well and almost has to hook it. So again, a bit like Liverpool, it feels like Isak and Liverpool are linked in the way we talk about it now. Let's not be talking about we fully turned a corner, but there was a lot of positives on this. No two ways about it. In terms of stats, big shout out to Andrew Beasley for these because there was an absolute raft of good stats to like from here. Look at that. Liverpool have 5 shots on target without conceding any. It was only the 12th Premier League game in which they've done this in the last 11 years. I think that's great as well, to be fair. And I know that they almost let West Ham have the ball, though. Let's be clear on that. They didn't just, give up completely or however you want to put it. They let West Ham have the ball. It was about being controlled and compact, almost an element of garbage time because West Ham just couldn't create anything, could they? I think people were going a bit overboard with that Bowen chance as well. But Liverpool managed and controlled this game that won't live long in a memory. But as we say, you only beat what's in front of you. Shout out to Bees for this one as well, that here's the player that got a lot of stick. Cody Gakpo. But as he said, Liverpool's 3 opt-to-defined big chances were all a shot, as in 1, or created 2 by Cody Gakpo. I've got to be honest, I wasn't a fan, but not going to lie, fan of seeing him in the lineup. In the first half, I thought he was awful, not controlling it. It was often that Wirtz would start a move and Gakpo would break it down. That was kind of the story a little bit of the first half. But you've got to be balanced on these things, because we give Mo Salah a lot of praise for when he gets a goal and assist. And that's what Gakpo did. So if he gets a goal and assist every game, can't really ask too much more. Again, he didn't perform well particularly. I'm not going to argue that, but got to balance it a little bit. And to hear there saying Joe Gomez and the team makes us more solid. Joe Gomez, the flying right back with an assist. And look at his stats from the game as well. 6 passes into the final third, 3 interceptions, 2 clearances, 3 recoveries, 32 out of 38 passes completed. He just brought us a solidity at right back, didn't he? There was one wild moment where he almost tackled himself, didn't he? And then caught Diouf sliding lane. I thought, okay, is he just going to recover from that? But yeah, 100% he did. He was just solid. Won his tackles, won his headers, cleared it. I think he was a key part of doing that, and having 3 defenders rather than a midfielder at right back suited us so well. Then the only question we've got now around Joe Gomez is, we want him to go again against Sunderland. Can he go again against Sunderland? That is the real question. And we probably won't have too long to wait to find out. In terms of something else we need to find out about, Mo Salah. To shout out to Bees with this stats as well. Mo Salah was an unused substitute for the Reds for only the 4th time. And you know he'll be seething. The last occasion was the first match of lockdown football, a goalless draw at Goodison Park. I mean, how long ago was that? And Arne Slot wasn't shy, and he spoke about this, and his message was the same at the start and post-match as well, if anyone saw it. He said, 4 games in 10 days with only 14 to 15 outfield players available for us, you make decisions. Mo Salah has been so important for this club and will be important for this club in the future, no doubt. There's a few things to this. I agree. For those that are saying, this is the end of Salah, I'd just be careful of your words, because you know how the Egyptian king has made many a person look stupid in the past. So there's that to consider. At the same time, something else to consider, Mo Salah being dropped, it's not the heresy it would have been last year, is it? If you're honest, you can understand that decision. And even just on form recently, although there's many who had a case to be dropped. And I'm saying that as he's an icon, he's a player I adore, he's my favourite Liverpool player. But I understand why Arne Slot did what he did yesterday. Also, it then brings the Sunderland debate around, doesn't it? Do you think Mo Salah will be in the lineup on Wednesday? I would suspect so. But we've not got too long to wait to find out on that one either. And then a final stat, which I think is important. Liverpool have now lost just one of their previous 21 league games that was 0-0 at half-time. It was that Nottingham Forest game last season with Nuno, the successful manager. It was a novel idea, wasn't it, to keep it tight and not go 1 down early in the game. It's amazing what happens, when you start doing that. That's probably, for me, the true test of when you say have Liverpool turned the corner, because you can go too early from this as well. What will the result be when they go behind? And they're going to go behind it in another game probably quite soon. That's maybe the true test. In a way, probably none of us wants that to happen, do we? So we don't have to answer that query, but it's coming. That's the real test of if we turn the corner. And the final player element on this, Milos Kerkez tweeted, that's the right mentality. Stay humble and keep working. Got a lot of stick recently, Milos Kerkez, and I mean a lot of stick. And to be fair, some of it pretty warranted at the same time, because he's not played well at times, but he's been harshly treated at others as well. I think yesterday, though, he was just one of those in the solid, not spectacular category. But a few more games like that, he can just build with. But ultimately, as a lot of you who like this channel will know, you look at the stats and they're all on Liverpool's side. Yeah, 9 shots to 2, 5 on target. West Ham didn't have a single shot on target. Yeah, and mainly because we blocked 5 of them. So just keep that in mind. That's the real tale of the game. Even, to be fair, and I've not mentioned him, Ibu just looked, again, solid, not spectacular. We will take more of these performances every single day, won't we, ladies and gents? So much to like. And yet, when you look at the games coming up as well, it's not all safe now for Arne Slot. We need to be careful because I know people are going to start coming out with the, oh, those who wanted Slot gone, look how stupid they look. Like, I'd slow your roll on that. But also in terms of those writing it, his sacking articles, they had to put the pen down for a second, haven't they? But just for now, this is an absolutely massive week coming up because you've got 3 points against West Ham. Brilliant. But Sunderland at home and Leeds away. I think Lewis Steele said it on Media Matters. The indications he'd had from people around the club is that Arne Slot needs 7 points out of 9 from this, at least, for that to be considered fully safe. He's got the first 3 on the board, but this Sunderland game is going to be super tough. They're flying at the moment. You can't really put it a different way. They're 6th place, but 6th place for Sunderland is just unheralded, isn't it, under Regis Lebris and what you thought they would be. But they're in a decent run of form. And more importantly, they battle. They get set pieces, as they proved against Bournemouth, as they proved against Arsenal at the same time as well when they got that draw at the Stadium of Light. This is going to be 2 tough games. And Leeds, and I know Leeds are on an absolutely abject run. And yes, they are in 18th place. But just remember, they showed some proper battling qualities, didn't they, on Saturday? And, a last-minute Foden goal to come down, from 2 down to level it. It's 2 proper tough games. These are maybe more of the story of where Arne Slot is just now. Let's see what this week brings, eh? In terms of just other little bits, the transfer links, I'm sure you saw this one. Are you bothered? I don't know, but some seem quite perturbed by this. That Liverpool have been linked in the front runners for Antoine Semenyo, and this was mentioned in this article, but the big one between Paul Joyce and Hurst Class was Manchester City are considering triggering Antoine Semenyo's £65 million release clause in January. It's funny, isn't it, that Spurs, Arsenal, City, us, there's a lot of big clubs looking at Antoine Semenyo. But it's important to say that Paul Joyce also puts in this article that Liverpool, has spoken, they're informed about the situation, didn't plan to make a move in January. That's crucial. And also Fabrizio Romano just changed tack a little bit. If anyone caught his YouTube yesterday talking about Liverpool are informed and looking at, which, is a little bit softer, if you're honest, around what he'd said the last week or so. But Antoine Semenyo is definitely one to watch for Liverpool and the Reds at the same time, isn't he? And just in case you're thinking, hold on, what did Fabrizio say exactly? Let's just pop it on the screen for you. Liverpool have held some initial talks to understand the situation of Antoine Semenyo. They are well informed. At the moment, no negotiations, official talks have started, but just some inquiry to understand his situation. Manchester City are closely following the situation. Almost felt like when that came out from Joyce, Fabrizio might have thought, I'd best just get in there at the same time. Importantly, though, saying that clubs are being informed, official talks, you all need to talk with the player, really, didn't you? There's a clause there so Liverpool know what the fee will be. Might try and negotiate it. We've done that before, haven't we? Pay more than the fee to get a favourable payment structure, but they know what it's going to take. They want Antoine Semenyo. And Tay's right there. Indy Kelly is the biggest one, has gone heavily on Semenyo. to Liverpool. So if it is true, if Antoine Semenyo does end up at Liverpool, the credit you've got to give to Indy Callier, don't limit that, people. And yet, on Fans Forum, we do this, the Whopper of the Week. I think we're going to find a winner already. And that is, before we've even properly started the week, Big Uli Hoeness at the Viper's Nest that is Bayern. And what has he said? He was talking about Liverpool and Florian Wirtz because they just can't let this go, can they? So he said, they spent 500 million and are having a disastrous season. In my opinion, that's because they only have superstars. They only have chiefs and no workers. I always say that Liverpool will soon have to play with 5 balls because the stars won't let go of the ball. Poor Florian Wirtz. He doesn't even get a ball because Salah and Szoboszlai and all the others want to play with their own. God bless Big Uli. Do you know what I mean? You're top of the league. Look at how you're flying and you still can't let it go, can you? But it's just the fact to say doesn't get a ball because of Salah and Szoboszlai. I mean, could there be more contrasting natures? I mean, let's be fair. Salah should have slipped Wirtz in a few times this season. We know that. We've seen the footage. So there's maybe a little bit of validity to that. But Dominic Szoboszlai, one of the most unselfish players in the entire team. I mean, he does the running for 3 at times, doesn't he, as well? So why he's mentioned that? It's just Whopper of the Week. That is taken by Uli Hoeness, and we're only on Monday morning. Insane, eh? But it's weird. Are things as bad as they're made out? I think they are. You know, it has been I'm not underselling this word or overselling it at the same time. It has been a crisis. You can't have the results Liverpool have had. But actually, on 21 points now, they're only 4 points off Manchester City, who currently sit in second place. But there's no corner been turned just yet. Let's be clear on that. West Ham were abject, and it was nice of them to give us almost a training game. Power to them. You could only beat what's in front of you. But this week, Sunderland at home on Wednesday, and then Leeds away, they will be real tests for the Reds. 9 points out of 9, you might see some revisionism on Slot. Anything else might be a little bit different, eh? Well, there we go. A win, people. 3 points. It's just nice to talk about that on occasions. And on Monday, the 1st of December, that was another news round for Anfield Index.